Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Downshift. I'm your host Nestor, and today we're going to be talking about each and every spec of the 444 Corvette C8s that were produced starting last week. So we're going to dive into all of the specs and talk about some of the more rare options and which ones are a lot more common. Now keep in mind guys that even though there are some very interesting things to analyze out of all of this data, there was significant constraints on a lot of these options. So as we move forward and go into week 2, week 3, and then start going into month 1, month 2, we're going to see this data start to change quite a lot. So don't put all of your eggs in one basket as it relates to this data right here. But anyways, let's go ahead and start things off with the trim level breakdown for the Corvette C8. So it seems like 298 people went with the 3LT package, 145 went for the 2LT, and last but not least, can I give a big shout out to the lone survivor who ended up getting the 1LT trim level. One person only got it, guys. That is incredible. I have no idea how this one person even snuck in here, because from my understanding, the 1LT trim level was a constraint for at least a month and a half. So the fact that one person got into the first week of production is incredible. Shout out to that guy. He's gonna have a pretty unique Corvette C8 for at least a couple of weeks out there on the roads. Now moving on to the colors, this is where things get very interesting. And really quickly, I have to mention, it doesn't seem like anybody in the very first week of production got the Elkhart Lake Blue. I'm not sure if that's just because people didn't choose the option that much, or if it's on constraint for the first few weeks, but I'd imagine that maybe that's not a paint color that they're doing in the first week, and once we start moving on, that color will be a lot more significant. Starting things off here with the lowest color chosen, we have one yellow and one rapid blue C8. Again, big shout out to those two guys, because whoever has those two vehicles right there will stand out on the roads for quite some time until, the next week or the next month of production. Now, moving along, we have two people with Blade Silver. That is shocking, because Blade Silver wasn't even a constraint if I remember correctly. And I saw the color in person and it is beautiful. So only two people is quite shocking to me. Moving on now, we have 50 people that chose this Sebring orange color. I'm a little bit disappointed that the color is that high, simply because I got the color and I wanted it to be a little bit more rare. But I do think as we move on, the color will come down, because orange was a color that was not on constraints to begin with. We have 51 people that chose ceramic gray. It's not the Arctic white, that's the one that's a little bit darker. And then moving on from there, we have 49 shadow gray metallics. Really not a big fan of that color whatsoever, but it seems like people like it quite a lot. 102 in torch red, and finally we have 107 Arctic white C8s. Arctic white looks fantastic with the carbon flash accents, so to me this is not surprising whatsoever. And actually, I forgot one color here, sorry guys, 81 black C8s. So it seems like the three most popular colors right now are white, black, and torch red. That is blatantly obvious, and that's very expected. Moving down the list here, 402 people opted for the Z51 package, and 357 of those went with the magnetic ride control as well. That's going to be a beefy car right there. That's going to be great for the track. So it seems like quite a lot of people here are amped to get this thing on the track and really put in some hard laps with this vehicle. Now 360 went with the front lift kit, and I do not blame them. If you go for the 2LT or the 3LT package, I think getting the front lift is honestly just a no-brainer, because you don't want to get your car scraped up. 277 people chose the appearance package, and I assume that's for the engine. So there's going to be carbon fiber bits on the sides of the engine bay, and there's also going to be a light to make everything look nice and presentable. 188 people went with the mirrors in carbon fiber, so that's pretty impressive right there. Now, I'm not sure if the person who wrote this made a mistake, but I believe that 188 mirrors is carbon flash metallic painted rather than carbon fiber, because I do believe carbon fiber was on constraint for quite some time, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Now, 39 people went for the chrome badging. That's quite surprising, seeing as how, I feel like we left the chrome stuff back in the early 2000s. Right now, chrome is just not in whatsoever when it comes to wheels or badging. 69 went with the high wing spoiler. 29 of them were body colored and 44 were carbon flash painted. I think the carbon flash high wing spoiler is definitely much better than the body colored one, as it breaks up the paint color quite a lot and it matches all the other carbon fiber bits on the vehicle. Now, one thing I will say is that it seems like the high wing spoiler is not a fan favorite right now, because only 69 people out of 444 ended up getting the spoiler. So that's pretty interesting right there. 146 people went with the standard wheels, 197 went with the black 5-spoke machined edge, 58 with the sterling silver tridents, 44 with the Spectra gray tridents, 73 with the black accessory trident wheels, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, 0, I repeat myself, 0 people went with the accessory pewter 5-spoke wheels. That's shocking. Now listen, I'm not a fan of the pewter wheel whatsoever, but the fact that 0 people got it is quite shocking. I would be very surprised if GM did not pull this wheel next year for the 2021, because it seems like there's no interest in this whatsoever. Now, we also have the seat breakdowns. 53 people went for the GT1 seats, while 333 went for the GT2 seats, with 58 going for the competition seats. Competition seats are probably going to be by those buyers who are going to track their cars quite a lot. And 333 going for the GT2 seats makes a lot of sense, because that is, in my opinion, by far the best seat, and GM really just killed it on the GT2. It looks phenomenal. And last but not least, guys, to round things up, let's talk about the price point. The average price point was $84,000 and some change, while the highest was $101,000 and the lowest was $66 grand. I assume the lowest price tag is the person who got the 1LT package. He probably slapped on the Z51 and called it a day. But that's really it for all of the data, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know where you fall in line with all of this stuff if you do have a Corvette C8 ordered. The way my car is spec'd and optioned out, it seems like it's going to be definitely a unicorn out there other than the orange paint colors. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting mine in about a month's time from now, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And as always, guys, we'll be pumping out videos. So make sure to subscribe for daily Corvette C8 content and other automotive content. Drop a like as it supports the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.